My name is Rosella, and currently I study biochem, math, and econ. Currently, I'm planning to get into economic management, any management courses, and I'm still waiting on some of my offers. My favorite memory here at CSFC would probably be winter ball, because winter ball there I would say is the only school event that takes everything about school away and just has everyone be there as just themselves and just as a big community. And it's a great way to just see all your friends all looking nice, all dressed up really nicely, and just having really fun in a non-school environment. But in terms of school wise, that would be my favorite memory. An external memory would be when me and my friends went to go see Bonfire Night, which is a really good experience to have. I really highly recommend that everyone tries to go see the fireworks during Bonfire Night. It was really fun. It was only a few of us, all crammed onto one car. We were all laughing. We really enjoyed it. And it was that time I realized, wow, I really like these people and I don't want to leave them. My experience as a boarder was, I think most of the boarders can say the same, it was very overwhelming at the start because it's completely new. I've never lived away from home before. I've never boarded before. I was in a new environment with people I didn't know, and my family members weren't there. So at the start, it did feel a bit like scary. I did feel a bit lonely. But I think as you go along, boarding, go along through the months, and you get to know your cluster mates, you get to know the people, you start to have your essentially a found family there. And I think it's one of the best experiences of being a boarder, as we are not forced to be family or not forced to be together, but we essentially chose each other and stuck around for the rest of the school year. And I think it's a great way of connecting. The one thing I like about living in Cardiff is how I like how cozy everything is. Everything is within walking distance. Most things are within walking distance. And generally, I would say coming from a city, it's a lot more homey. And again, I would say cozy here. As well, there's a lot more freedom. I can just go out with friends, just walk around. There's generally a lot of stuff to do. I would say there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of stuff to see. There's still a lot of parks, whatever hikes, things I haven't experienced yet. And I think that's a crucial part of new boarders coming in is that you have to make the most of the environment you're in, and you have to branch out because if you're just stuck in like city center or like school like that, you're not. I feel like you can't get the real taste of Cardiff, and for me, that was one of the most important things I liked about here. If I could go back and give myself a piece of advice, it would be to not be scared because I think when I came in here, it was a bunch of new things altogether. And it was also new to me that I couldn't find that rhythm quick enough or I didn't feel comfortable enough to step out of my own comfort zone or out of my shell. And I think another important thing would be that a lot of people here are nicer than you think. And um, I feel like I should realize that sooner because there's a lot of amazing people here, but sometimes you have to be the one to reach out and start that conversation and get to know them before it's too late, which is some of it applied to me as I couldn't get to know my seniors in time, and they were amazing people. But I feel like I've grown from that and I've branched out and I've got to meet all these amazing new people. I think the biggest challenge I've faced here would be the saturation of all these academic pressures because essentially it's all really smart students huddled into one place, all competing against each other. And it's really hard not to ignore that academic pressure or just from peers or just your cohort entirely. And that was a thing I struggled with a lot at the beginning of my AS term. but as time went on, I learned to cope with that, and I learned to keep up with that as well. I would say the school does do a good job with support. Like, we have our support sessions in the morning, we have scheduled timetable supports, and generally, if you go into any department, you will find one or two teachers who are very willing to help you, as well as during mock week or exam, like study break and things like that. Teachers will be at school and they will be there to help. And I'll say all of my teachers are really helpful with everything I've asked them, and they've really helped me improve with my own learning. My favorite teachers in the school would probably be my biology teachers, Mr. Hick and Dr. Isgrove. They bring such a good environment to their classes, and in most of the time, I would say I've experienced being in classes with teachers who are just there to teach and nothing else. But with these two teachers, they actually actively connect with us, and I can feel myself as a student and my classmates as well. We feel comfortable talking to them, like, and inquiring and being curious. They make me want to learn more, which is, I think, a really important when studying here. My other favorite teacher would be my economics teacher, Miss Luxmore, and she explains things really clearly. And though, no, she explains things really clearly. And again, the whole atmosphere of the class, it makes me want to participate. It makes me even more curious than what I need to learn. And I think that's why I enjoyed those three teachers the most. Some of the extracurricular activities I've done would be Glee. I've done volleyball, and during my AS term, I did some biotech. I would say during AS, Glee was one of the biggest highlights of that year. Essentially, it's just a bunch of theater kids together, and we're all just having fun, performing and acting, and you form a very close, tight-knit community. And some of my close friends were made during that time. So Glee would be one of my highlights. Volleyball is probably my top highlight. I've met so many amazing people through that, and volleyball as a very team oriented sport, you have to form. It essentially forces you to make those bonds and play well together as a team, and it's really like taught me a lot with like just community, just working well together with other teammates and like problem solving together. And yeah, and most of my good friends were made from that as well. I would recommend CSFC to those people who really want that drive to succeed. As I said, you face so many pressures here. You face the pressure of like living by yourself, living away from your family, but also you have to keep up with grades and things like that, and you have to connect with the people around you as well. And all of these pressures, it seemed all so daunting to me at first, but as soon as you find your rhythm, it feels really rewarding. As soon as you find your people, find your place here, and you just get into it. Really, I would say it has somewhat prepared me for further on into uni life, let's say. I have a lot of friends back home who aren't boarders currently, and they're all very unsure and nervous about uni life. But for me, I would say I feel prepared to step out into like the actual world and to face even more challenges as a result from the obstacles I faced here. So I would recommend it to the people who really seek for that push out of their comfort zone and who seek to grow and improve, essentially. To describe myself in 3 words, I would say I'm very enthusiastic about things. A lot of my friends say I have too much energy sometimes, so enthusiastic would be one. I'm generally very passionate about things. Even if I only minorly care about them, I still have a lot of I still pay a lot of attention to the little details, and because of that, I would say I'm very introspective as well. I love getting to the bottom of the things. I love like finding out more and more, whether it be a person or like a subject, and yeah, those are the 3 words.